Hello, and good day to you. I am here again going into 2021, and man, I'll tell you, there are so many things going on. My name's Jeffrey, and I hope that you're having a beautiful day. You know, despite the fact that 2020 was pivotal for humanity, it's going to be welcomed to end and the start of 2021 by the multitudes as we're leaving some apparent chaos of pending resets for many world systems that currently are holding us into a pattern of uncertainty. So hang on, it's going to be a bumpy ride for a whole lot of us. Those looking forward to a connection, though, for unity, however, 2021 promises to be a year of development and of personal choice for us. It's going to be a time to connect in a way that nurtures personal and professional wholeness, and you can do that with a company that's doing stuff that's never been done before. That company is Onpassive. It's a radically new business model, vibrating in 5D, and it's bridging the chaos between the systems. And I love what Onpassive CEO said early on. Quote, "As good as Onpassive is, the things that you know and things that you do not know as overall Onpassive now and future, it is much bigger than Facebook. It is much bigger than Google. And the most beautiful part is that it's to your advantage, to the customer. So when you think things are going to slow down or things are going to run out of traffic, no. You're going to hear the vibration on the ground, I promise you." And that was Mr. Mufara back in 2019. So if you choose, 2021 can be your year, and Onpassive can be your company to light your way and put purpose in your step. But you'll want to do more than just buy a ticket, so to speak. You'll want to grab hold of the rails and hoist yourself up because the train is about to pull out. So get involved. When you do, your dreams are going to manifest a whole lot faster, and you'll help develop coherence the world over. Sound unbelievable? Yeah. Well, you ain't heard nothing yet. Coherence is the quality of being sound and consistent. It's the quality of forming a unified whole. Now, relating to the heart, coherence is a state when the heart and the mind and the emotions are all in alignment and in cooperation. It's the real thing, and I encourage you to learn about it. Start it by Googling the Heart Math Institute and learning about their studies. Coherence is what gives us that feeling of wholeness, of joy, of well-being. I think my friend Corinne would relate coherence with unity or unity consciousness. Well-being, incidentally, is the natural basis of things. And that's what Onpassive's been doing on a global scale, creating unity through abundance. And I'll explain that. But you're probably thinking, oh yeah? How? Well, I don't blame you. So before I start laying all that out, let me tell you a little bit about a man that's doing more than anyone else on the planet right now to bring you the opportunity of success, develop coherence, and to lift the hearts of humanity. His name is Ash Mufara. He's an American family man that loves nature activities. He also loves technology. So much so, in fact, that he holds a master's in IT and e-commerce, which is information technology. And he's an influencer, a mover and shaker. He's been in the online marketing space for over 20 years. And he's also a futurist, a visionary. And from his mind has come a total internet solution called Onpassive that will provide more than just financial freedom to its members. It'll provide total freedom and connect people like never before. And that's the reason this video talks about coherence. Because it wasn't the promise to make a boatload of money that drew Onpassive to the vast majority of us. It was hearing plainly the heart of a man who had experienced some of the worst behavior the internet had to offer, and a heart that identified with multitudes experiencing online failure. It was listening to how his experiences ignited a desire to do something for the 97% of us whose experiences online haven't created success. Something courageous, selfless, and for the greater good. It was listening to the vision one man had for creating something spectacular that would change the course of history by aligning hearts and minds to create the paradigm shift that is Onpassive. So, getting back to coherence, for me, it started with the identification of the core values that came directly from Mr. Mufara and were expressed through his vision. You can read the Onpassive vision statement here. I'm not going to read it, but I do encourage you to pause and read it. When you do, think about what you're reading and read it carefully. You see, the man who came up with it's got a lot of heart, and it comes through clearly when he speaks. And by heart, I mean that man radiates empathy and compassion. He's saturated with it. The stuff beams out of him, and it's like been spread liberally on every part of Onpassive you can imagine, acting like a glue that holds it together and even gives it form. So when I talk about Coherence, I'm talking about a company that was put together to unite people across the globe and create success for all of its members and based on all our mutual benefits. And that is exactly what's happening. Onpassive's message is one of unity, of mutual benefit and connectedness. It's a message of sharing and lifting the human condition the world over. It's a message of coherence for ushering in an age of abundance that is not a respecter of persons, of background, ability, or location. It is a message of total inclusion with guaranteed success that has created a movement and a culture by putting people first in a company that's automated by AI with heart. So how do we propose to do that? Well, first of all, by being very generous. King Solomon, arguably the smartest man that ever lived, said this in the book of Proverbs, and I quote, "He who is generous will be blessed, for he gives some of his food to the poor." Unquote. I like what Mr. Mufara said, quote, "The bottom line is to have the bottom line taking care of us," unquote. Now with Onpassive, the bottom line refers back to our vision. Our vision defines the outcome of our journey. And the outcome is being structured in such a way as to make sure the money is there, because if we can't take care of ourselves, how on earth are we ever going to take care of anybody else? And if we can't give bread to our own child, how can we give bread to our neighbor, right? So we know that we have to have enough to fill our own tanks, so to speak, and have extra to be able to share with those that are close to us. So that's what we do. We're going to make sure the millions who join us have more than enough for themselves, and then encourage them to freely share the excess as they see fit. In doing this, we raise the human condition, and that's the real goal. So far, it seems as though the majority of founders are in line with this thinking and are even planning ways already to give once we open. And this means that we are already changing the world. As indicated a little bit ago, generosity was determined to be a key element of success right from the start. As a matter of fact, Mr. Mufara drove that point home when he told us, quote, "The company is not greedy when it comes to profit," unquote. That was back in 2019. Onpassive put value and fairness into the massive digital ecosystems as being offered to everybody that will, as an opportunity to fill their tanks first. Obviously, we have no desire to limit how much anyone can earn, and we certainly won't try to dictate how it's spent. But the Onpassive model encourages all those with more than enough to give charitably as they choose. And obviously, that's going to be a personal choice. But let me assure you, the feeling of fulfillment that we get through giving to others, of being in service to others, it's much more fulfilling than what we're going to feel when we receive from somebody else. Giving provides us with the means for ultimate fulfillment, and it's through giving and fulfillment that we build coherence. For this reason, Onpassive has created the best, unique, and revolutionary model designed with heart and care, science and mathematics in existence. Its nature and viral effect is going to allow us all to win and win big together. And I'm here to tell you that we're a whole lot better off with Onpassive than any other business on the planet right now, because the real leadership that's heart-led, loving and caring and predictable is Onpassive, because Onpassive is a real heart-led, loving and caring industry leader. But I certainly understand that some of you, all right, most of you hearing this for the first time anyway, want to talk about money. Okay, let's take 30 seconds and talk about that. But here's my disclaimer. Earnings are going to vary depending on your individual effort. Everybody knows that. The money I mentioned is not a guarantee of income. It's my conservative opinion of what's possible. So I'm just going to put it like this. If you join Onpassive as a founder right now and you do nothing else except subscribe once we open to the public, by the end of the first year, you could be earning several $1,000s a month. This is to confidently say that you could be earning six figures the second year. But if you join right now and you begin building your network, building teams, so you have teams before we actually start the soft launch, it's easy to forecast you with a six-figure earning the first year in. As a matter of fact, there's going to be founders earning amounts during the soft launch that exceed the requirement to earn six figures annually. So yes, You join Onpassive and you will be successful. It's a no-brainer. Join today, build a team, your success will happen very quickly. Join as a customer after we open to the public, and your success will grow slowly over a period of time, but you will be successful. If you want a more detailed forecast, then you can check out my video, Onpassive Founder, the absolute best position, because it features founder Michael Williams. And I'll tell you, when it comes to money and finances, the guy's top of the heap. So when you're doing all this, please do not place your primary focus on what you can personally acquire, but dare to dream how you can help others and how you can lift them to your level. Back in Proverbs, King Solomon tells us, and I'm quoting here from the Amplified Version, "The generous man is a source of blessing and shall be prosperous and enriched, and he who waters will himself be watered, reaping the generosity he has sown." Unquote. So outside of Onpassive, let me assure you that in 2021, we can expect to see quite a few things. We can expect to see a drug development revolution, obviously the result of COVID, right? We can also expect continued expansive remote working, contactless delivery, telehealth, online education, increased development of 5G, everybody knows that, AI, another no-brainer, robotics, another no-brainer, the Internet of Things, another no-brainer, industrial automation, virtual reality, and even self-driving vehicles. And Onpassive is weighted hip deep right into the mix, and I can just about guarantee that you haven't imagined the size or the magnitude of what is about to happen. On its own, Onpassive will affect billions. You see, in the digital world of today, to stay competitive, organizations build relationships through communication, which requires talking and listening, obviously. Talking is done by putting out content. Listening is done by reviewing data collected. As an example, if you check out my YouTube, you can hear my talking, quote unquote, my Onpassive message in the content you find there. Listening, quote unquote, is accomplished by reviewing the comments and analytics collected from the site. Onpassive offers its members an integrated suite of predictive, intelligent business automation services, so we can foster meaningful relationships by speaking and listening to our customers, prospects, partners, employees, and other internet users. Through an integrated software framework, we can engage a far-reaching range of audiences through an extremely broad array of digital touchpoints. So much so that we can literally engage anybody that uses the internet. I mean, that's remarkable. Think about that. That's a market cap of about 5 billion people. Well, through this, we can develop, deploy, and continually improve websites and portals and mobile apps and a whole host of other digital experiences that create a highly differentiated experience for our customers, for your customers. It's because of these things, everything we're doing and everything we offer and the heart-led reasons for our existence that is going to totally disrupt the current online model. So what is the current model? Well, no matter what it's for, whether personal or professional, right? For fun or play or for hard work, current online models offer platforms, tools, and training to set up a presence online. That presence usually includes things like a domain name, corresponding websites, control panel, hosting, security, contact managers, blah, 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 right? And to get the things you need, you got to go to many different resources, probably, and then you got to pray that they all work together correctly. Well, the concept is all relatively simple, but it also comes at a cost, and you can easily spend several $100s a month for it, and that doesn't include some of the heftier tools like webinar and video conferencing platforms. And if you throw those in with the cost of traffic and recruiting, you're talking thousands. Man, of course, if you decide to have a professional completely done for you e-commerce site, man, you can expect to be about 5 or 10 grand right up front. But you got to know, getting the site isn't the real challenge. The real challenge is earning a living, and to do that, you got to have sales, right? But as mentioned a moment ago, getting people to your site, getting that traffic, that can be expensive and time consuming, especially if they're the wrong people because they don't want to buy what you're selling, right? Anyway, recruiting is another thing, and like, who likes to do that? So all in all, it's a risky business. So you may be saying, gee, well, how is Onpassive different from that model? Well, first, Everything needed for your success is in one place at the lowest fair market cost on the planet. It's expected to be about $250 or less per month with no upsells, okay? But our platform does include the tools of, video conferencing and recruiting and traffic and a whole lot more. The entire system and all of its products are brand new and cutting edge. They've been created from scratch and they're wholly owned by Onpassive, right? Now, these are all totally automated and integrated so they work smoothly and flawlessly together. Then, for the member, we manage everything soup to nuts to build the customer base, drive the traffic, sell the products, recruit customers or members, brand your business, and do it all at a fraction of a current cost to you. Okay, and if you choose to become a reseller for Onpassive, we're also going to create a new business for you using our products and do everything for you that we just mentioned with all of the products and provide lifelong residual income to you in real time. Bam! This is the Onpassive class. This is going to be the new online standard. We call it CAPMO. A complete digital solution automated through AI and generating targeted traffic and residual income. But to provide you with some delicious food for thought, you do need to know that Onpassive is the first digital technology-driven startup of its kind, and we will severely disrupt core online marketing businesses simply because they're using the old methods. Onpassive will do for online marketing what the We Company did for education, what Didi Chuxing did for transportation, Airbnb did for hospitality, Convoy did for the trucking industry, and Stripe did for e-payments. And just like those organizations are the new model for their market, Onpassive is the new model for marketing online and beyond. But right now, we're 3 to 5 years ahead of the market, and we've got about 50 departments, products, or portfolios. These aren't tools I'm talking about. These are full-blown solutions, unique IT stacks. Now, an IT stack is a set of software subsystems or components that are needed to create a complete platform, so no other or no additional software is needed to support the applications that run on that platform. This month, January 2021, we're going to see product milestones regularly completed as we move into the future. Of the 50 or so IT stacks that we have, about a dozen are complete and are going to undergo the alpha testing between now and the end of the month. And that's the internal testing that's done by the engineers in terms of like 50 or 100. And that makes them available for beta testing early next month. So they got to go through alpha testing, then they go into the beta testing. The other 35 to 40 portfolios are being completed. Some are on the verge, some are not so close, but almost all of them are done. And once the first dozen products enter beta, which is large-scale testing with hundreds of thousands of users, namely the founders, we will begin the active soft launch. That's what it's for. And testing is going to start slow with a few products and gradually ramp up. If we run into issues, which is the purpose of the beta testing, the developers and engineers are going to correct them and they're going to move on. The fewer issues that are uncovered, the faster the beta testing can proceed. All right? Now, as other products have alpha testing completed, they too are going to be queued up for beta testing in the active soft launch. This means, I believe, that by the end of soft launch, which could be anywhere from several weeks to a few months, the entire ecosystem will have been thoroughly tested and proven so that it runs smoothly and cleanly. But there are a whole lot of moving parts, so to speak, because the IT stacks, the products, they contain a whole lot of features, right? A lot of tools within them. If we were to count up all these features or these tools in these stacks, right, in the products, in the digital ecosystem, there would be several dozen. Onpassive is a true gestalt. As a result, it's easier to view Onpassive as a sum of all its parts, like we would an automobile, rather than a business with many components. Because of this, we recommend viewing Onpassive as a singular entity, right? A total internet solution. That truly is what it is, and it is an absolutely incredible accomplishment. As a new business model, what Onpassive is doing was once thought impossible. So some still think it is. Regardless, this is probably the best man-made thing that's happened for humanity in a very, very long time. And despite its very broad implications, it could be for you too. For you listening, this could mean financial independence. So do not delay. Don't slip back into the past by watering seeds of doubt that you may have. Join this movement now because you're not going to see this sort of thing happen again anytime soon. You can only become a founder before we open to the public. And once we do open to the public, the founders' positions are going to be closed forever. It will not be coming back around. So, if you've already been invited, please reply to the founder that invited you and join that team. However, if you weren't, then please click the team link in the description box below and join with me, with us, with my team. Hey, come on, let's lay a firm hand on your future, and by doing that right now, you're going to enjoy it a whole lot better. But whatever you decide, I wish total blessing upon you and your family and everything that you would like to see in 2021.